Oh, look at that.
All right. Welcome to the very first Jax Wax podcast. My name is Jared Miner. I'm here with Todd Isaac, our marketing director, and the Jack of Jax Wax, the CEO, my dad, Jack Miner.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
That is right.
Thank goodness.
For sure. So, what we are going to cover some of the things in this podcast. You know, we've had a lot of questions about it. You know, we've always wanted to have one, you know, for the past year or so. We've been wanting to do this and kind of give people a behind-the-scenes look at Jax Wax, some of the products we're developing, some of the stuff we've got, make you more familiar with what we got going on here, and just overall what we got going on.
The most often asked question that we get out there when we're at car shows is what separates you guys from the guy that's down there selling wax.
Yeah.
So with the story and Jack kind of telling how it started, this is going to give you a little idea of what makes us different.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that's what we wanted this first episode to be about, was the story behind Jax Wax. How did it get started? And there's nobody better to tell that story than the man himself. So let's rewind.
Well, we go back how far? Let's go back to before
1825.
me and Abraham Lincoln.
Yep. You guys were in high school together, graduating class.
It was his college roommate, Honest Abe.
He's a good dude.
Before I even thought about selling wax, I was a structures mechanic. So what that means is I build airplanes for a living. When I hit that mic,
Easy on that mic.
Does that do good?
That thing wasn't cheap.
How much did this mic cost?
You
Wasn't
paid
cheap.
for it. Be careful.
So I'm building airplanes, doing good, making good money. It's all good. And that all came to a stop. We built the B-1B, a bomber. The stealth bomber came out, so that put us out of business, lost the contract. So we all got fired.
Overnight.
It's over. And, you got to move forward. So
You got a family to take care of. You
Yep.
got responsibilities. You got to do something quick.
You were 4 years old
Yeah.
at the time. So, you pick up and you go on, and I did this and that, and I worked in Fort Wayne, Indiana for a while. I could have went to Palmdale to assemble planes out there, but I thought, I'm not doing all that. And I answered an ad in the paper, worked in a body shop for a while, answered an ad in the paper, and started detailing cars at a local car dealer here in Columbus.
Just detailing cars and the deliveries, the used car.
Yeah.
Any experience? No experience.
No, I walked in that first day. Well, I go to the job interview. The guy had two questions. Do you have reliable transportation? Yes. Can you pass a drug test? Yes. You're hired. I go in, and the guy said, can you run a buffer? I said, yeah, I can do that. Never ran a buffer in my life. So,
Oh, yeah, absolutely I can do it.
And
we're
buffer.
Right. We're not talking about a dual-action flex polisher. We're talking about
High speed.
buffer.
old,
Rotary.
big, heavy grinder. So,
Burn the paint like nothing.
yeah, I did that, and I was good at it. So, still am. I still can't buff. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But no,
Hasn't
so I get
changed a
that.
bit.
I get that job. I'm doing that. It's piecework, so I'm busting my butt to make any money. And
Did you learn some things like at that dealership that you then, when you started making products, were like,
A ton.
this is, because
Like,
you're probably using mediocre stuff.
this is the way not to do it. Yes.
Right.
And so I did. I genuinely I like that business. I've always been a car guy, and so that fit in with my thing. But I've worked long hours because, like I said, you get paid by the hour. You got paid by the car. So got to know some people in the business. And one guy said, "Hey, would you like to sell some?" He would call on me to sell me car care products. I started working for him. He sold the business to another guy. Long story short, that guy pretty much went out of business. Here I am again, no job. So I thought, I can do this on my own. And signed up with a company in Dallas, Texas, great products. Did that for a while.
Selling their products in car dealerships.
Yep.
So driving around in a truck, Astro van.
A Chevy Astro van.
A
Which
lot of
is
people don't know what that is.
I haven't made that in 20 years. That was a smaller version of a full-size van, Chevy Astro, great van. And I'm going door to door and selling this product, doing pretty good at it. And I thought, there's got to be a better way. I need to sell my own product, not just my label. I need to manufacture it.
But that seemed I mean, it had to seem tough. When you're
Well,
just selling a product from your guy, you
It was
got to.
basically a dream. And
Right.
you're thinking about it, but I've always said this: there's two reasons people don't do things. They either don't see the value in it, they can't see what they're going to get back from it, or they just don't know how. It's not because they're lazy, not because they're dumb. I'm not the smartest guy, but I embraced that. I thought these guys are doing it. I can do it, and I can do it better.
And you're at that how old are you about that time?
33.
On fire.
Yeah, 70 years ago. I'm just turned 103. I just had my.
103
I'm 103
next
now. So yes, I was your age. You're 35. You're 34.
35.
35. So yeah, you guys know nothing could stop me at that point. And so.
But it's way different than it is now. You're driving to car dealerships. Is the only way anybody knows of the products that you're selling. You're having to get them into these dealerships.
Yep.
Well, in your mind, I mean, that's what you're doing, selling to car dealerships and detail shops and auctions and body shops and all these professionals in Central Ohio.
Well, that's where the business is. That's where I grew up. I've lived here my whole life. I know these guys, build a relationship, and that's what I'm going to do. And I mean, you fast forward, gosh, looking back on that, and we still do all that.
Right.
And that's a great business, the commercial side of it. But getting back to how I started really with one product, and that was our wax.
Our liquid carnauba wax.
Yeah.
Which is still, I mean, one of the biggest sellers that we've ever had, and still to this day.
Sure.
So you hired a chemist.
Hired a chemist. Round numbers, about $30,000. So $30,000 to make
Back then,
6 products.
1993,
Right.
1994, right?
And I didn't have the money, quite frankly. I took a loan out, on my mortgage on my house. Put a lot of trust in this guy, and he was for real. He came and saw us 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good guy, great guy.
He sold you the formulations.
Yep.
Helped you start doing it, get you on your feet as far as making them, you train you and all that kind of
he
stuff.
did all of it. I mean, I knew nothing. He said, "Here's a list of what you need to get.
Raw materials.
Raw material wise.
Yeah.
Raw materials. You need this tank. You need this mixer. You need this pump. You need a forklift. I had nothing. You remember going and getting the first tank?
I do. I was
11.
about 11. I don't remember where that was. I just remember it being fall, and here in Ohio in the fall the leaves are just gorgeous, and I just remember being on this just really windy road and just having to go real slow. I thought to myself, even as a kid, I'm thinking, man, where are we at?
What's going on?
Where are we going to?
Yeah.
I just went and saw that old farmer and got that first tank, and I mean, I'm just a kid, but for you, how exciting that was.
Oh,
Now you're starting your own deal.
Can't wait.
And you're selling the other products.
Yep,
But
still doing
you
that.
started making your wax. You start taking it around.
Start making tire dressing, car soap, all-purpose cleaner, wheel cleaner. And overnight, I changed my customers to my product. They're like, "Oh, well, we like the other stuff." I said, "No, we don't have that."
Right.
Well, then they got a chance to use it, and they said, wow.
And here's
stuff's
why. Here's why then and now. I said, "Here's a great product. I want to make it better." We've
Right.
always done that. So not only did I save them a lot of money because I was the manufacturer, I gave them a better product. And we're doing that right now in 2018.
Still do it, yep.
It's really what makes us. It's one of the big things that makes us different the most.
So
Definitely.
it sounds like a sales pitch, but I mean, it's for real. It's so easy to do things right.
Yep. So you start making your own products. Now you're in all these car dealerships, the vast majority of them. You hire some guys on, the company's growing, maybe even going into some outlying areas.
Yep.
Let's back up just a second. So how the story that I like is how you were first taking that wax around and how it actually became Jax
How the
Wax.
logo.
My very
Yeah.
first product. So
Yeah.
I didn't even have a label. And so I'm driving around, and I'm going to all these spots. And I'm not only going to car dealerships, car washes, but detail shops. Back in those days, 25 years ago, there was like a detail shop on every corner. So one of the guys, he had this tunnel drive-through car wash that had been converted to a detail shop. And I drop off that sample. I come back to follow up the next week with all those people. And he had written, no label again. He took a Sharpie or what they call them back then, magic marker, and he wrote Jax Wax on it to remember where he got the sample. But it was Jacks, Jax Wax.
Right.
He said, "Man, that stuff's great. Everyone told me it works good." I'm thinking about that Jax Wax.
It's kind of catchy.
Yeah, I went home that night thinking about it. penciling around, Jax, Jax Wax. So, yeah, that's what you got.
And then the actual logo itself. How do
My
you come up
sister.
with that?
My oldest sister, smart. She's in advertising. She's a writer. She's a publisher. She's, does all this, even back then. She comes to town. She's from Florida and excited about my business. We go to lunch, and do you have a logo? I said, no. She said, well, you need that, because she knows that's her business. I said, oh,
She knew like how you needed to start.
I don't know anything about that. And she goes, well, I'll do that. A couple weeks, some company in Tampa, Florida, Black Bear Designs, sent me like 3 samples. Immediately, I picked that one.
They came up with that.
Yep.
Whole deal.
Mailed it to. There's no internet. They mailed it to me.
The whole approval process of just getting the label done is way different than what me and you would
Well,
used
even
to.
today,
Right.
what are you doing? You're designing the
Yeah.
entire SEMA booth,
Correct.
all the graphics for it. Can you imagine if you had to mail that?
Right.
Like, hey, I'm gonna mail this out to you in
and
Vegas.
what do you do? What, you print it?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
It was on ad slicks. They're called ad slicks. So it comes and you lift one layer, which would be white. Another layer was black. Another was
Right.
It's like fast forward to last week. We just built this whole studio to do this first podcast. You made a phone call 3 days ago, and we
Yeah.
have this and put it up here today.
Right.
It's
No
that easy.
problem.
Right.
we're just fortunate that that's what technology, that's what everything is now. It's just
That's why it's like one of the it's the great
Right.
part about today.
Before the Astro van, I need to mention this. I had a horse-drawn carriage that I
yeah. That was your first product, carriage wax.
He first was doing it wasn't tire shine, it was horseshoe shine.
So now you've built a pretty good business. You're doing good. It's
trying
not-
to get a paycheck.
right.
I know the feeling.
Do you?
Yeah.
I bet you do. And you're cranking. You're doing really good. It's late 90s.
It was great. It was fun. I was young and energetic. I worked 12, 14. I didn't care. I was excited. You guys do this now.
Yeah.
And not to mention, now you have a product that not only are you making it better quality, but it's cheaper to the dealer.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we cut
And-
out the middleman.
Right. There's no middleman. It's coming straight from where it's made straight to the dealer, which is a big reason why we still have all the business today.
That's something that, so in the world of social media, and you think about, this is our 25th year, and for the first 17 or so years, the general public could never buy Jax Wax, meaning we only sold it to car dealerships or body shops, professional detail shops, whatever. We would have, so the building we're in right now is our retail showroom where we do all of our internet sales. The building, our manufacturing facility, is a building behind this building, and we bottle, manufacture, do the whole thing there. Well, that was the only building we had.
Right.
And I remember, there would be some buzz around Columbus. I'm young. I'm just now getting it. I graduated high school in 2001. So I started working right out of the gate right here. And I remember
working, or you were here?
because
Because I've yet to see you work.
I'll tell you what. When he started, he was
Best thing that ever happened.
He was the same as he is right now. Didn't do shit.
awesome
Do nothing. Just run around talking a bunch.
greatness. I mean,
Just
I'm
run
gonna get
around-
one of those LeBron witness shirts. They still sell
Goat,
those.
greatest of all time.
I'll
Yeah.
wear a witness shirt. You guys are witnessing greatness. So, these guys would come in and they say, "Hey, I heard this is the wax place." We didn't even have a sign on the building.
No.
Well, why would you? We don't have retail sales. We don't have anybody coming in. They'd figure it out, right?
Right.
Hey, I was at a car dealership. I was asking what they were used. Loved the way my car looked. They told me about this place. I found it. I come up. They'd say, "Well, I mean, I'll sell you something," but it's not like I just have a bunch of products sitting on the shelf. You know what I mean?
Right.
The stuff that we're selling is 5-gallon pails, 55-gallon drums, 275-gallon totes. The smallest we would ever think about selling was gallons.
Right.
I
There was
was-
never a mindset of selling a bottle.
Well, no.
I
like
was.
this. It
I
was-
didn't even want to put it in gallons.
It sounded
I had to buy
stupid.
this gallon
sure.
filler. No, I don't
We
want
just
it.
had the whole wholesale, large volume frame of mind. And
And it worked.
it did work.
You got new shoes.
Yeah, that's right.
couple pair.
That's all good. And, that was the business model for a long, long time.
But like
And-
you said, buzz started. People were wanting to come buy it.
From
So-
buying their
yeah.
cars at dealerships.
and it's all
going,
because of it being a good product. So they
Right.
would see it at a dealership and say, "Man, how do you get this car? This wax beads like anything else." They're like, "Oh, it's Jax Wax. Where'd I get it?" You can't. It's
Can't.
for dealers only. So that's almost how it self-formed. I mean, it formed into. There's a lot of things along the way, but to being able to offer to the general public.
Well, and we still, what I was getting ready to say is that most people don't even realize in today's social media world, what they think of Jax Wax is this. This is what they know, right? Mm-hmm. We still are in all these car dealerships. We have over 6,000 part numbers that we're selling. If you're at a car dealership, we're selling you seat covers and key tags, urinal blocks, car wax. We're a total one-stop shop.
And most of the people don't even realize that.
They have no clue.
Because that's how Jax started.
That's how you started. That's how you built it.
And it's like you're always going to have that just because that's how it started.
It's always been. It's
It's still a large segment of our business, but by golly, it's not the fastest growing segment. But it's new and exciting is what we're doing with this internet stuff. That's where it's at. Amazon. It's the new phase. It's about the third or fourth phase, but it's the one that is going to be here forever.
Well, so if we go back to everything's going good with the dealership thing, and then there's a guy that approaches you and says you need a website. Now, granted, This is 2006 or so.
Probably 7, at a car show in Cincinnati. So, invitation only, car show at Trim Parts, great company. And I got this old 55 Chevy, and this guy comes up to me. You'd have to know I love him, Scotty.
Scotty too naughty.
Yeah.
Scotty too high.
Some people
Scott,
listen.
I hope you're watching this because you're my dude. So
some people that will listen to this will remember Scotty.
Oh,
they're all going to know
I'll still be
Scott.
at car shows today, and they'll be like, I haven't seen Scotty. And he had some awesome tactics.
Yeah,
he did, and he
he's a real smart guy, IT guy.
Right.
Wants you to build a website.
That's why he gives me his card, and I throw it away. Yeah, right. Bye. So.
Because at that point, you're not in that mindset.
Well, I'm making enough money. I mean, complacency is a curse. I've told you guys that. I'm making enough. Enough's never enough.
Right.
So I don't want
what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm paying the bills. Yeah.
I mean, you're doing big bulk.
I'm the biggest guy in Columbus. Yeah. So, I didn't listen to Scott, but it's okay. I drag raced for 20 plus years. So I'm at a drag strip, and I'm racing this dragster, and here he comes. He goes, "You remember me?" I said, "Nope. I'm racing, dude. I ain't got time for this." He goes, "Well, hold on." So I'm going some rounds and doing good because I'm a bad son of a bitch. So then Scotty comes up to me and approaches me when I got eliminated in that race. And he goes, "No, I talked to you in Cincinnati." And I said, "I talked to a lot of guys." And, "Oh, yeah, the internet, the website guy. Yeah, whatever." Gives me his card. I still don't do anything. Then I meet him at Roosters. So
this
Roosters,
is the third time.
Third time's a charm. Roosters is like a Hooters. Chicken wings.
People aren't local here.
Yeah.
It's a really good chicken wing joint.
Best chicken wings.
Awesome.
And I'm getting my to-go order, and I hear this, Jax Wax. So him and 3 or 4 guys sitting at a table, probably drinking a few beers, I'm guessing. He approaches me again. That's when we kind of landed a deal.
Well, you said, I'll tell you what, you're so confident.
Yep.
You do it.
That's what I said. He's like, man, he's putting a sales pitch on me. And I'm thinking, yeah, he wants to charge me. Remember back in those days, $7,500 for a website, $10,000. It was crazy.
Right. And it wouldn't be crazy
wasn't
now
an
because you know how much
e-commerce
much is a website will do.
Right.
Back then, you're like, come on, man.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
really.
I'm selling it to dealerships here.
Yeah. He's like, I'll buy you a beer. I said, my wings are getting cold. I'm out. He said, no, I said, I'll tell you, you're so confident, we'll do it. You build me a website for no jack, pun intended, and then I'll sell it to you, and you sell it. He goes, we're on. Shook my hand.
And that's what happened. So I remember when Scotty would first start coming here to the shop, we were selling to him in 55-gallon drums. He bought a shop in north of Columbus.
Brand new.
Yep, nice place.
Yep.
And he was all in. He started the website and was selling products. Not so much on the website because you got to build that brand. But
really none on the website in the beginning.
Yeah, but he's doing everything he could. So in 2008, that's probably about the year that we're talking here.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a website. Back then it was jaxwax.us.
Badass.
Remember
Killing it. I think we should bring it back.
I think it's a thing.
I had it on
Dude,
the
we can
site.
start.
We can start it right
Remember
now.
the
Jaxwax.us.
purple dragster?
Yep. Had a big jaxwax.us decal right on there.
Boom.
Get
I
you
still
some.
got T-shirts. I still got T-shirts.
We're gonna have them for sale.
Jaxwax.us.
Throwbacks.
We can sell
Yes.
those online.
Throwback Thursday.
Everybody want one.
$100.
So that's the website we've got, and Scott's just doing his thing, and well, tell them a story about jaxwax.com, how that happened.
Oh, so this asshole, this guy is some Canadian lawyer. He sends me email. Hey, you want jaxwax.com? 75,000. Lose my number. He's persistent, so this goes on for about, I got to guess, maybe a year, 18 months.
Oh, yeah.
Keeps hitting you up, wanting to know if you'll get it.
Yeah, and that's what they do.
They
These
buy those
squatters,
ones,
yeah, they do that. So 75 grand.
Same, and wasn't even going to be.
He didn't have
A big thing.
$7 in it.
Right.
Well, we know you can buy these
Oh,
things.
yeah.
I've got one for life now. Jackminer.com, Jax Wax. I got like 5 of them.
Right.
All 5 didn't cost me $500. So he wants $75,000.
Right.
So I said I'm good. But now we're getting a little traction. I'm like, I talked it over with Scott, and he goes, it'd be good. I said, well, this guy's crazy, because, yeah, that guy is crazy. We negotiate that down. I said, I'll give you 10 cents on the dollar. He hangs up the phone. Well, you know what? I weighed him out. I bought it for $5,000.
Right.
And, looking back on it now, obviously it was the best thing we could have done.
I'm going to take it out of your check.
That's all right. You can do it. I've worked a couple years or so and be able to do it.
Be able to pay it
Take care
off.
of it.
That $6 an hour adds up fast.
Killing it.
Are
Have
you
been.
up to 6?
Yeah.
Thanks, Todd.
Oh, you didn't know yet?
Wow.
My bad.
I'm just trying to work, man.
Trying to eat a little bit.
Trying to eat, dude.
I know one thing. He sucks at ping pong.
Hey.
Oh,
While we
Hang
were
on, wait,
charging
wait, wait,
the
wait.
batteries,
Go ahead.
we were charging the batteries for this camera thing,
Yeah.
GoPro, whatever this thing is.
Mm-hmm.
You drummed him.
Well, if you
Killed
consider a drumming 23 to 21, then okay.
Killed you.
But where you
like
don't
playing
want
a
it
child.
is out there on that basketball court.
That I'm a
Anybody,
witness to.
if anybody wants to come by here ever, Jax Wax, we have a basketball
'Cause
goal
he's
in the
from-
back,
He's from Kentucky.
and we were born.
Does everybody from Kentucky think they're awesome at basketball?
Yes, because when you're a baby, they give you a basketball.
Is
You're
that right?
born
When
with
you're
one.
born, yes, you're born with one.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some
It's
football?
natural.
You want to talk about
It's
Buckeyes?
natural.
You want to talk about football?
I do.
Huh?
I
College
actually do.
football?
Yes.
Now
wanna
you're
get
happy
down with
because
it?
Your
I am.
team, Kentucky,
Yeah,
We don't worry
absolutely.
about basketball.
SEC right now, they're doing a little good. They're doing pretty good.
We're killing it.
I don't know that all of our
We're now a football school.
You're a powerhouse.
We're powerhouse.
You're a poverhouse down there.
Number 17
Lexington.
in the nation.
You're 17 in the nation?
Exactly. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
I don't think you're ever going to see it again.
back to
No.
wax.
Man.
Back to wax, guys.
Right. So anyway, yeah, Todd's okay at basketball, whatever. He's
Yeah,
not that
anybody
good.
wants to come by here.
And hey, listen, the old
and
guy
witness it,
played
they can.
ping pong too. What was the score?
I don't know. I just
A lot
drummed
to
you.
a
It was
little.
21 to
I
17.
drummed
I
you.
remember because hey,
I played left-handed with my shirt over my head, so I couldn't even see. But you're doing pretty good.
21-17.
That's not bad.
That was pretty impressive.
here's the deal: right hand paddle, left hand Bud Light.
That was the problem.
That was a problem.
He couldn't switch over.
So I lost my So now you're going into Scotty is saying, okay, we got jaxwax.com. Okay, we're still not getting internet orders because how do you build you have a brand that no one's ever heard of outside of Columbus, Ohio, right? And now you're trying to sell to the masses. You're trying to sell nationally,
Worldwide,
and
yes.
you're going against the likes of McGuire's, Mother's,
All these-
Turtle Wax, all these big companies. So how do you separate yourself? How do you get someone to take?
I bought them out.
Yep, that was it.
Yeah,
You're unveiling that today.
just let you in on it.
Just let you know, top secret. But
So-
that has to be such a hard thing. It's still even hard because we're still a relatively
much
small
so. Very
company,
much so.
but it has to be insurmountable. I
It,
mean, at that
was
point.
overwhelming to think that you could. They call it the World Wide Web for a reason.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so that we're getting no traction on it. I buy the .com. Okay, so Scott, this dude is on it, right? And he's trying his best, but he's a one-man band.
And let's paint the picture. It's not these bottles.
No.
It's first label's paper label.
No, they were
he's
Xerox.
doing- yeah, I mean he's still hustling.
He's hustling.
But it's
A lot different.
it's just how you find out as
We're
you
talking
go.
10 years ago, and
It's a paper label. It's just barely it's like something you could print off a printer.
And
It's
he's
not-
got his place, like Jared said, in Worthington, suburb of Columbus. Finally, it comes to like Christmas Eve of 2010, I think, or 9. January would be 2010. We come to this. You know what, Scott? Let's take it in house. You can't do it by yourself. And that's when we kind of got going.
Well, and he's out there doing all these car shows.
Yep.
All over the country, driving. I mean, I remember him taking that old Ford truck to Baton Rouge
The
for Super
orange
Chevy
truck.
shows. Yeah, he'd go down to Virginia for those. He's trying to do all these, and that's how he's growing.
And that's the way of growing the whole brand.
But still not selling online.
No.
And selling at car shows.
Right. He's at car shows. He's getting in people's hand.
Yep.
He's starting to gain traction,
Getting
and
some little distributors.
he's gaining distributors. Guys that had, let's say he does a Super Chevy show in Michigan, and sold some product. Everybody's like, man, that's really cool. Comes back the next year. I remember the Jax Wax guy.
Sure.
Now he's a guy's coming up to him and saying, well, I want to be a distributor for this product
because
I love it.
And that's the whole marketing thing behind it. It's not a marketing thing. It's a really good product. That's what makes it different.
It sells itself.
Right. So people use it, and then they're like, okay, this is no gimmick. This is professional grade car care. So Stugatti starts gaining a little traction.
Yeah, and he starts signing distributors. And that's how we're growing. That's how we're selling on a retail level is
Car shows.
Not the internet. Not at that point.
Not at all.
Not at all.
And distributorship. And getting more and more and more. And in different parts of the country. So at that point now, you move into, like you said, we brought it in-house. Scott's too busy doing other stuff. Let's bring it in-house. And
bring Scott in.
Yeah, Scott was in here working.
My overhead, Scott, you concentrate on building the business and driving people to the website.
Yep.
I've got the place. I've got the electric bill. I've got the gas.
You'll feel it.
You don't pay the rent. You don't pay the insurance. I've got it. You concentrate on.
Do what you're really good at.
And drive it to this. We've got to get people to go to jaxwax.com because I paid $5,000 for it. And I'm going to hold your feet to the fire.
I'm getting my money back on that.
That's right. And I'll never forget, in the manufacturing facility behind the building that we're in right now is a lobby, and we had a card table. You remember this?
I bought it at Kroger's, $9.99
Yep.
plus tax.
And a bag of peanuts.
One bag.
That's it. Well, how much do you need when you don't do any internet orders? You know what I
Right.
mean?
You
You're
think
just
that's
trying
going
to
to
be
last you
prepared.
for a year.
Just waiting. We're just refresh on that computer screen.
Right.
We get an order
Did
today?
we get one come in?
We get 40 bags at a time now.
Yeah. And, an order would come in, again, it's the whole wholesale, large quantity, large volume frame of mind. When an order would come in, I remember walking back in the warehouse and filling that particular product.
I was annoyed.
Yeah, because what are we doing? We're filling a bottle of soap, a little 16-ounce bottle of soap, one at a time. What are we doing?
As to where you're used to selling 55 gallons at a time.
That you pump in a minute and a half.
Right out of the tank, into the drum, cap it, label it, done.
Sell it.
That's it.
Put the
Simple.
money in the bank.
Way
simple.
different.
So it's different. And then we start getting some orders.
Yeah.
We start growing the business. You have the idea, I always say that, we wanted, you're like, listen, this is crazy. We can't do this on a card table. What are we doing? We've built onto the warehouse because of our growth in the commercial end of it.
Yep.
On that side, we added this 2,500, 3,000 square feet, whatever it is on the side of the building. Let's build, if it were me, I wouldn't have even had the thought to do what you ended up doing, but I would just build a box. We wanted a clean room. We wanted somewhere where the labels, if we had inventory on the shelf and the labels sat in there, they wouldn't wrinkle.
It was cold.
It was
heated.
Exactly.
Right.
And I would have just built a box. You know what I mean? But
Well, that's you.
You a little bit smarter than me.
Which is why he's much smarter. That's what I was getting ready to say.
My kid will probably be super smart, like my
That's why I
oldest,
said-
Dylan.
That's why I said
Because it skips a generation.
No.
Right.
So I built this little gas station. It was funny. I'm at this buddy, a drag racer friend of mine he builds houses for a living. We talked it over. I sketched it out on a piece of cardboard, still over there. That piece of cardboard above the door. He said, "Yeah, I can build that." I'm
Well,
like,
so
"Yeah."
how you came up with the gas station idea because you've collected cars for a long time and collected all kinds of different automotive memorabilia.
Yeah.
You had a Sinclair gas pump.
Yep.
From the
So
60s.
We built a gas station around a pump.
Right.
I told Kirk, this guy's good. So he said, "Yeah, I can build that. And that's nothing." And that's what he does. So I bring the gas pump in. I sketched this gas station idea on this cardboard, and he goes, "Cool. When you want to start?" I said, "No." He goes, "Snap the chalk line and build it."
It was
And then we'll show you guys. I mean,
Yeah,
go on our
we'll
website.
try to go to a picture.
It's pretty cool.
and put it on there.
So that's where we were doing. We had a peanut chute, remember, through the wall.
because the room that we're talking about is not, it's not huge. But to us, it was such an improvement that we were like, man, look at this.
And
We've
at
really
that
done
point,
something.
At that point in time, you're thinking, well, this is going to be big as we ever need
Yeah, what do we need more than this?
for internet orders.
So the peanut chute was on the outside of the room because it wasn't that big, and it came through the bag, right?
Right.
You put the peanuts in. We'd walk up on a ladder and put those in there, and there was a chute that came through the wall. You open a little clasp, and that was how you got your peanuts and our bubble wrap and all this stuff. We finally had inventory on the shelf. We had justified we don't need to fill per order now. We're having enough orders that we need inventory on the shelf. We can just pull from it. And I remember like one of our very first sales. Now you could talk social media, Instagram, or not that point Instagram yet, but Facebook, email, newsletter.
Oh man!
And I remember putting our first sale out, and it was probably around wintertime, I would think. Like a Thanksgiving or I don't remember exactly. I just remember being cold, and we got 30 orders. I couldn't believe it.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
Staging it up, taking pictures, like it's
FedEx truck backing up.
Yeah.
Who wants any of this smoke?
I don't know if you're going to have enough room on that truck for all these orders.
I remember talking to Jared. I said, "Do you think people think those boxes are empty?" And we just made that up.
We thought, it's just because as you grow, those are like milestones that you hit.
Never had 30.
Never had that, and I thought I can only imagine how you feel about it. I know how I feel about it, and I remember thinking there's 30 people across the United States
that just bought
that want Jax Wax. That is crazy.
And like I think about it all the time, starting back selling in a truck around Columbus, and now not just everywhere in the United States, but 13 different countries.
13 countries.
Australia,
we just added Ecuador,
China,
13.
Ecuador, all these places that are distributors of Jax Wax, and how it just started.
That's we're fortunate.
Off strictly word of mouth and making good stuff.
That's it. Sure. You're not getting that business. I mean, social media is a huge. We're never reaching them if we didn't have that platform for sure. But you're never gaining those guys if your products don't work.
No,
they're not becoming distributors of your line in some other country.
It's pretty simple.
Exactly.
It is.
And you can't, like distributors are the backbone of our thing. We got distributors out across the United States every weekend.
They're helping spread the word of Jax Wax.
And they are, and they're awesome as far as that. And we're real involved with them though. That's the thing. So they're out there, they're spreading the word of Jax Wax.
Oh, we're not this big company that you've got to talk to the receptionist and put on hold and let me see if he's in a meeting. They have our cell phone numbers.
That's it. I mean, we're extremely involved, and that's how it should be. And it's the same thing with our customers. I can't tell you how many times nowadays, again, technology has changed so much, but how many people we FaceTime with because they have a certain scratch on their paint that they say, what's it going to take to get this out? Or look at this on my wheel. How do I clean this? Or whatever it is. We just try to be as helpful as we can and as available.
We're hands-on because we came from that business. We're car guys. I am just like the guy I sell to. Yeah. I'm no different. I'm the guy that I still enjoy, under the shade tree at home, waxing my car. I still do that. Well, last week, the guy that came in with the golden rod, this is a kind of famous 62 Bel Air.
Yeah.
I used
race
to
car.
drag race with the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know when he pulled up and kind of, from long distance from the building in the back. I kind of know him. I walked, hey, man, you and I saw the interaction. We'd raced together and stuff, and he had that spot on his deck lid, single-stage paint. His dad's car. It's been in magazines. His dad is now deceased.
Original from 62.
So it's a lot of sentimental value there. He's brokenhearted about this stain. Jared comes out with a cordless flex buffer and a plug for flex and need a free one.
2 free ones.
Jared gets it all out.
Yeah, and I had talked to him a couple of days before. He had come to we had done some kind of donation for him for a car show. Gave him a bucket kit or something. He had some kind of car show.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
take that back.
and he had mentioned that something to me because he had reached out. He had emailed. I emailed back. He said, "I'm the guy you talked about." I'm like, "Oh yeah." I said,
super nice guy.
Yeah, good dude. I said, "Bring it by, man." He said, "Well, I'm gonna have it at this car show. Obviously that we were giving him the door prize for."
Right.
And he said, "When I'm done with it, because it's trailered, I'll bring it to you." And he showed up last Friday or whatever it was, and I took a buffer out there.
It was Friday.
And I was happy that it got rid of it too because when I looked, I was like, I don't know, man. This is not looking good.
Well, I had a spark plug in my hand. I was tuning up this old hot rod. And I walked out, and he said, "Hey, man, what's up?" And then I knew him, and I looked at it and thought, "That's not coming out. We're not magicians, but it
did.
It was perfect."
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. But those are the things we like to do. We want to be involved with, and when I go to these car shows all over, and people, it always sounds like a sales pitch, and I'm not that like trying to sell you or make you believe, So when these people ask, like, that is the difference. We're just car guys. We're just normal guys that make car wax, and we want to make it better than anybody else.
I'm never going to be any different than that. I'm
No.
the same guy. I'm the same guy that started this in 1993. I got a few more clicks on the odometer now, but I'm a car guy through and through. And I'll tell a quick story. I was on the radio show. We do all those radio things. And we're at National Trails, and a guy called in and said, "How'd you start this business?" Now, we've talked about this here tonight, but I had a different kind of view that afternoon. I was drag racing too, and I'm in a T-shirt, and I'm sweating, and I'm like, what's the next call going to be? Well, this guy said, "How'd you start this business?" I said, "Or how old were you when you started this business?" I said, 7. He said, 7? And I said, "Yeah, a true story. Your grandpa was a car nut. So on weekends, he would pull that 63 Impala down under the locust trees to get it in the shade. And my job was taking a screwdriver, popping the hubcaps off, and taking less oil. Some old guys will know this. And a Brillo pad. Clean the back of take the hubcap off, clean the back of it, clean the hub. And I remember my dad saying, "Now don't get those white walls dirty," and clean that with that Brillo pad. Mm-hmm. So at a young age, I learned how to clean cars.
It was just in you.
Yeah.
And I remember being at the racetrack.
It's never been in you, but
right. It's in you.
Again, it skips a generation.
Right.
I remember being at the racetrack and having to polish those wheels.
I never seen that.
I got pictures.
Dude,
to
are you
prove
kidding
it.
me? You
I
don't
got pictures to prove it.
Listen, just because we're on a podcast doesn't mean you have to try
Is
to
this
get
on
everybody to believe
video
that.
too?
Yes.
Oh. Oh, yeah, all right.
Daggone it.
You didn't have a whole lot of time to polish wheels because your dad was going rounds,
Yeah.
winning.
Yeah. You're doing all right.
Tiger blood, winning.
Yeah. So now we got the gas station, right? We're doing the whole deal.
Starting to crank a little bit of orders out.
Yeah, we're past our 30 order sale.
31.
I think we're killing it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants any of this smoke.
Right. Nobody's wanting any.
Right.
Come get you some.
Shipped
Get it.
32 orders today.
We did 33 last month.
And hey, but you know what? Again, to me it was cool.
Right.
To me it was
because you're growing with
you started
it.
from nothing.
There was
no internet sales. How many times we look at the credit card authorization, and you'd text me and joke whatever. Hey, another 0.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
we
big
didn't get an
0.
order.
And for 15 years, there was
There was nothing. We didn't do it.
That's right.
We got that 30. I think it was. Do you guys remember this? Black Friday. Now we have these huge Black Friday sales. Cyber Monday.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
I remember the going online and reading about and turn on the local news or the national news about how many people they thought might order something on Black Friday.
Yeah.
Because it was new.
Right.
And we sold 30 orders. And that's when you got your raise to $5.50 an hour.
Yep.
And
Second best day of my life.
And then you're already to 6.
$7.50.
$7.50.
$7.50 now.
$7.50.
Wow,
Killing it.
We're gonna have to talk.
Yeah. Sorry to bring that up.
Yeah.
Sorry,
wow.
dude. Didn't know I was killing you
I
in the
thought
payroll.
I thought I was getting paid. Boy, was I wrong.
So it's grown enough, and we could fast forward a little bit. We're still doing the car show thing. Obviously, still selling to these car dealerships. It's a huge aspect of our business. And
Drag racing.
right, we're doing the whole thing, and the building,
Busting ass drag racing.
right, and the building behind us, our old building,
Yep.
which is the one we're in right now, comes up for sale.
And at this point, it's completely in house now.
Oh yeah, totally.
Scotty had moved on to took a new venture down
With
in
North Carolina.
Yep.
Yep. And
Still there.
Shout out to Scotty. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Yep, that's my guy. And totally in-house. We're doing our thing. We've got someone just doing shipping,
Yeah.
the full-time person shipping orders, internet orders and distributor orders. And the building we're sitting in right now comes up for sale. These guys have been our neighbors. It was an old heating and cooling. There's 2 buildings next to each other. One was commercial, one was residential heating and cooling. The owner, we see that. Remember, we were out at lunch one day and we drive in. We see that sign in the front, and we think, oh,
That'd be
what's
nice.
that about?
Yeah.
Bought it that week.
Well, I saw Mike, and I said, "What's up with both buildings?" He said, "Well, one guy was going to buy both." Sorry about that. How much that mic cost?
Hey, won't you just knock that thing off?
Was that expensive?
No.
Hey, and if it looks like anybody that's watching this, if it looks like we're on a boat, it's because he won't quit touching the table.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
So, I'm new at this. So I run into Mike, the owner of both the buildings, And I said, what? He said, well, the deal fell through. And I said, I will look at that building today. He said, you interested? I bought it that day.
Yeah.
This building.
Which ended up being obviously a great decision. We totally remodeled it, and still we just put a podcast room in. But now it's total retail showroom, which we never had ever. You know, that we go back to that story of people coming up the old building and me having to try to fill bottles for them. Now we have a full inventory. You know, a total showroom.
And it gets a lot of people come in, detailers from all over that are not on a route. They're just looking for, mobile stuff.
Yeah, every single day.
Place.
A ton of people coming in here.
Yeah.
And that what's also, what's cool about it is, so we built the showroom, and we have our entire shipping department in this building, the whole team. We have a training center in the back. So there's a lot of times that, again, people, they want to know if they have a problem with their car. Something's on their car. I just had a guy here a couple weeks ago that had some wax buildup. So I don't know what wax. It was a different brand. He said, it's not your stuff. Can you help me? And it was some wax buildup in a vinyl stripe. And it's just a little detailer secret. If you wet a magic eraser sponge, like a Mr. Clean magic eraser sponge, it takes that wax right out. And he just couldn't believe that. But again, to my point, we have that training center because we're just so hands-on. We'll pull a car straight in the training center
and
work on it.
And it's not like you're going to have to talk to somebody. You're going to talk to one of us.
Yep.
I mean, somebody that's here.
That's it.
Because we want to be hands-on.
Absolutely.
And that's another thing that sets us apart.
Absolutely.
Even when it comes to anything. We want to try to do it. Building this podcast room, we want to figure it out.
We don't our videos.
Videos.
You're doing them.
Yeah.
How are we doing so far with the podcast, you think?
Pretty good.
I think it's all right.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get some feedback.
Sure. I mean, I think the camera should probably focus on me a little bit more.
I think you have a face for radio.
Get your oars out.
Definitely got the voice.
We're on the boat. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Got that.
Got that.
I got that.
I remember my first podcast.
Yeah. I remember my first podcast.
I think it's fun. I love this.
Yeah, well, I mean,
all you got to do is sit and talk.
Well,
we're not trying to sell you anything.
No, it's another way for us to reach people and help them if we can.
And we get a lot of questions that come from all over. We want people to know that we're car guys. We make car wax, and we're going to have different people throughout the season on paint protection films, window tint, got business owners and stuff like that.
People that are in this industry that customers want to hear from.
Chris Metcalf.
Yeah, from Flex Polishing.
I need a free Flex Polish.
2 free.
He's treated us pretty well on the Flex Polishers.
I don't have a cordless at my house.
He's
I got one
pretty
at my
good.
house.
Me too.
Oh yeah,
Works good. Where we buy microfiber towels from. We're gonna have those guys come in and just talk. I mean, there's detailing questions that people have, and you just can't expect them to know the answer.
and we're gonna share it.
Yeah.
We have no. Here's the thing: we're regular guys. That's if we get anything across in these podcasts, we're just like these.
Right.
We're just like the customer that buys that bottle of body shop.
Exactly.
And we're going to tell you about it. You got a question? We'll just tell you. We got nothing to hide.
And we can guarantee you when it leaves here. I mean, that's when we started out. That's the question we get at these car shows all the time.
What makes you different?
What makes you different? And that is what makes us different. We're hands-on. There's so much that goes into developing a product.
For sure.
That it makes it harder when you're a manufacturer. But that's what makes us different, because a lot of the general public thinks that everybody makes their own product, which is just not the case.
Yeah.
It's actually
It's a private label. We private label now for companies.
Yeah.
So
right.
Well, because it's easier for that person.
It'd be easier for us if we just bought product.
Yeah, we're just starting off for sure. Because in equipment alone. Let alone formulations.
Yeah.
But in equipment. I mean, we've got so we talk about now. Speaking of that, we have this bottle that we used to fill onesie twosie here and there
with a funnel,
right? Yeah, and defoamer when the all-purpose cleaner would foam up and you could only fill it to about here. I mean, just the whole thing. Now, you fast forward to today, a little over a year ago, we get total automated filling. Yeah. So,
we took steps to get. We had fillers,
single head fillers.
Now we've got you can see it on YouTube. You can see it on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You want to see behind the scenes? It's kind of what we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the way we do this. We're still a small company, and we're growing, and we're going to get better. We're going to have 2, 3, 4 of those lines.
But we will always be
just
hands-on.
It's hard to be a stud. I'm trying to teach Jared.
I've fought it my whole life.
He's gonna have to take some notes.
Yeah.
He missed that whole episode when he was growing up.
I'm just trying to figure out what didn't skip a generation. Have you found out anything yet? No.
Well, I can tell you one thing. You spend money like a drunken sailor.
Man, listen,
When I look at my American Express bill,
gotta spend it to make it.
That's exactly right.
yeah, you passed that class.
Figure that out. Man, we're trying to grow. Microphone's sweet though.
Yeah,
How
we
much
got
was
nice
it?
mics.
I don't want to have
Not
a
sure how
meltdown
much that
on the
is.
podcast.
Right, we're not gonna get
400
into that.
apiece. I'll
We're-
put it in there.
we're not gonna get that. We're not gonna get into that. He's kidding.
I was just kidding. It was buy one get two free.
He was trying to sell.
It was $1,200 for the first one. So it's cool. Now it's really. I think about the days, and I think about Scott. I think about how he and I would fill bottles and all that different stuff. To now, you have a guy on one end of the filling line. It's 35 feet long, 40 feet long, whatever it is. It's their turntable, and he's just loading bottles.
Yeah,
And that conveyor belt takes that into a 6-head filler that dives down, fills those bottles.
sure.
Takes it on down another conveyor, caps it, labels it, heat seals it, puts the date code on it. Then you got another guy at the end that is taking that completed product. It's got a cap on it, not a sprayer. But for people that are watching this on video, I'm holding this bottle here, and I think all the stuff that goes into that, and now we have a machine that just does it for us.
Well, think about when I hold that bottle and think about that Astro van.
Yeah,
for sure.
and I always think about that. I always think about how fortunate we are this day and age, as to where if you wanted to do this back in the 90s when you're starting up, how do you get it?
How do you gain a distributor in California?
How do you
start
even
with that?
how
Let
do you-
alone Australia.
Let alone a distributor. How do you even get anybody to know about Jax Wax in California?
It's a lot harder.
You take out a billboard.
To me,
Well, there were,
ads?
yeah. I went to those classes. I went to those seminars, and that was part of it. Was direct mail. There's no email.
Right.
We don't have that. So it
no
was,
internet.
It was knocking on doors. It was, you just had to get out there and do it. It's changed. This is the best time ever.
It's
Is right now.
inarguable, in my opinion, from a business standpoint.
There's no better time to be alive.
No.
Yep.
Nope.
Absolutely.
Zig Ziglar. A lot of people have heard of that. This cat did all these seminars and told you how to sell product. And I went to a Zig Ziglar thing, and there had to be 300 of us. When we broke for lunch, I'm not making this story up. Zig Ziglar came over and sat at my table. He said, "Kid, you got it.
Yeah.
And here's what you do." And I still have it at home. He gave me, it's like a wooden token, like a wooden nickel. And I'm trying to think of what it says on it. Round to it. And what it means is we all procrastinate. Get round to it. Quit saying you're going to get round to it. Do it.
Right.
And that was how we did it back then. We had pagers, beepers. Remember those?
Oh, yeah.
We had to go to a payphone to call. I mean, thinking
Right.
back on that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's way different. I mean,
Yeah.
as far as like if we want to get we can go right now and market an ad to just Orange County, California,
Yeah.
and then whoever pulls up Facebook seeing it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's such a luxury.
How do we have business in the Kingdom of Bahrain, New Zealand, Australia, UK, China, Vietnam? Can you imagine me trying to? Who would I call in Vietnam to say,
Well, you
"Hey, you want to
say
try
that.
some wax?"
Well, yeah. I
Would
mean,
would you like to try some of our car care products?
without social media, it's never happening.
Right.
It's never happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
And
exciting.
the internet,
I love it.
obviously.
That's why I'm still here. I love this. I mean, of course I must love it. I work for nothing.
Right?
I haven't
We
had a
appreciate
paycheck. Did you get a paycheck?
Did you get one this week?
I didn't get
He's
one.
good. We're really lucky, fortunate. It's all that stuff. It's just true. We all come into work. It's everybody that works here. It's just a cool place to work.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean? It's laid back. There's nobody
and we're
on
one-
you all the time. It's like, listen, we're hustlers and we're busy, but it's not some. This place is fun
It
to
is.
be at.
It always will be. As
And
long
we
as I'm
want
here.
to we want to have that because we see that this vision of where it's at, and we want everybody to be a part of that. It's a whole team thing.
For
From
sure.
the guys that are pouring it to the guys that are packing the orders to the people that
Route
are driving the
truck
route
drivers.
trucks.
Well, and it's rewarding to me
it's
when
the
I
whole
have
thing.
when I have friends come in that are old salesmen that are retired, from back in the day and stuff. Oh my gosh, look at this man! You've really grown. It makes me feel really good. And but I have to, I kudos to you guys for real. I didn't do all this. I started it, But you know what? It's generational. You got to get new blood in there. You got to get fresh ideas. I didn't come up with the podcast, but you know what? I'm digging it. It's my first time.
Yeah,
this is my TV side. So, but no, it's cool.
And you just got to hustle. That's all it boils down to.
Always
comes down to work.
Never give up. You got to bust your ass.
Nobody will
You're
ever.
going to do
Useless.
anything if you're going to do it right. If you're going to make some money and you're going to make people happy, you're going to make your wife happy. You're going to have a good family life. You know what? Money doesn't make you happy, but it makes it a little easier. And you got to bust your ass to make money. Get out there and get it.
It's like you've always told me. You got to work.
Yeah.
If you want it, you got to work. It is simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're passionate about something like we all are about this,
Right.
We're going to win at it.
That's it.
Guaranteed.
Trying to be the best.
That's right. So every week we're going to do some questions that come in from Instagram, Facebook. We've got some. We can't have our phones on, so I've got them written down. So the first one's from Lyles02. What is the man Jax favorite product to use right now and of all time?
I don't have my phone on because Jared didn't pay the bill.
You got a company phone?
Lyle?
Wait a minute. You got a company phone?
I just got one.
Wait a minute.
It's a flip phone.
Okay.
At 25 years, you can have one too.
We're going to talk after this.
What is your favorite product? I don't even know.
Off top, it's easy. The liquid carnation wax.
Yeah,
the
I get
original
that.
flagship product.
And the thing about that product that gets all the ooh and ah, and what makes it different than all the other stuff out there is all this myth of, you used to have to wax and you had to put it on and hurry up and get it off.
Do a half a fender.
Right. Under a shade tree.
Our wax, the liquid carnauba, that's what it does. For people that don't know, is you can put it on 90-degree sunlight,
we do it at shows all the time.
And you put it on and you can leave it sit all day and it'll wipe right off, no dust, and it's easy on the paint. When you're wiping it off, these classic guys, they don't want it to be rubbing and putting more swirls in it.
Well, to some people that sounds silly what you're saying. What do you mean I can wax my car in direct sunlight? And that's how we'll sell so much of that particular product at a car show, because we're doing it.
Right.
At 8 o'clock in the morning when we set up, we're putting wax all over that car, black car preferably. Everybody knows if you can make black look great, the rest of it's easy.
That's right.
And so what we try to get a black car, we put wax on it, and we leave it on there all day. And throughout the day, people come in and they wipe it off, and there's no dust, it doesn't smear. It looks
sometimes
awesome.
We take our finger 7 a.m. We put on there,
right, and write it in because that's no gimmick. There's no gimmick to that.
No.
It's happening, and that's another thing that sets us apart is we're not going to have 20 different detail sprays or 20 different car soaps because there's a
20 different colors. There's 20 different fragrances.
Car soap's a basic product,
yeah,
and you can only make it so many different ways. So we don't believe in putting 20 different car soaps up there, making them different color, different smell, and marketing it.
And not being honest to the customer and
it's
saying,
just not right.
It's not right to say, you have that particular product that I'm pointing to for people that are not going to watch this on YouTube. So I'm pointing at a bottle of detail spray. And we make that, let's say there's certain companies that would make that same exact product in a different color, different fragrance, and call it their premium detail spray.
Most companies.
Or call it the Euro detail spray.
Or whatever. Or it's called Cycle Shine, and it's for motorcycles, or
right.
It's, whatever.
Sure.
We're not doing it. It goes back to the whole thing. It's pretty simple, man. We're making the best products. So you say, well, people ask you, what makes you different? Well, from a chemical standpoint, that's real simple. We buy the best raw materials, period. When we make our products, it's made with the best products that you can have. And what that means to the customer is when they use it, it does what we say it's going to do. It's easy.
And it's going to do it better than the stuff you used before.
That's it.
We guarantee it.
That's right. It's just like Super Citrus is a good example.
All-purpose cleaner, yeah.
Yeah, it's our all-purpose cleaner.
Number one selling product on the wholesale or the commercial side, 20% of sales.
And the reason it is better than any other degreaser, and we do that, 100% money back guarantee. As far as we used to always talk about it, and
it's no questions asked. If you say it didn't perform the way you wanted it to,
yep, and the way we're saying it will perform, we'll give you your money back and you can keep the bottle.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's made with delimonene, which is a super expensive raw
one
material.
of 7 builders that goes into that, but it's the real deal. It's only Florida citrus crop, the best. We don't get it from Brazil or China. We don't cut cost. We get the best.
And that's what makes it. Those are the little things that make us different than the next guy.
It's the little things that add up to why we're different.
Right.
And
we don't cut those corners because quality and just treating people right before anything.
Period.
Okay, next question. Metal Ink. used to be formerly known as Metal Ink Drink Repeat.
Just Metal Ink now?
It's just Metal Ink now.
He's a local guy.
Yeah, he's a local guy, Jamie Mallow. What is the best protection I can use on powder-coated wheels?
For wheels, paint, I mean, pretty much any surface on your car, from a protection or durability standpoint, ceramic coating, no question. Especially wheels, just because it's good to 2,000 degrees or 2,500 degrees.
And that would always be a question. People would say, "Well, can I use it on my wheels because it gets so hot?" It's probably not going to last as long on the wheel as it would your paint, but it's totally safe to put it on your wheel.
It is. It's going to last so much longer than, let's say, an organic product like a carnauba-based wax.
Right.
And so people are putting it on. I mean, the right way to do it, you can do the face of the wheel. Prep the wheel, get it really clean. Make sure there's nothing else on it. Clean it with our ultimate wheel cleaner first. The barrel, I would take the wheel off.
Yeah, do the barrel of the wheel. Or if you don't do that, use our wheel woolies.
Yeah, and get it really clean. But I mean, just to listen, you're not going to do it that much, so take your time, do it right. Take the wheel off, coat the entire thing, and what it's going to end up doing is, one, it's going to bead water like crazy and shed water, and that's all good. But when that brake dust, it's not going to stick to the wheel as much, and it's going to be much easier to clean.
It makes it so easy to clean.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite thing about it because now you can just spray the wheel and it's all coming off.
Right. Yes, and that's really the whole thing about ceramic coatings. It's about maintenance and durability for sure.
And the prep before you put it on. Take our ultimate wheel cleaner, clean that wheel. When you do ceramic coating on the paint surface, it's all we do them here. It's about preparation.
Yeah. And we'll do a whole podcast on ceramic coatings. It's the most asked question out there today.
Definitely, because there are some little tips and tricks you can learn that we've learned about ceramic coating that we need to pass along. We need to get that out there, and we could have a whole podcast on ceramic coating.
Yep, we'll do one.
Yeah,
we'll do.
We did a live stream on first car we did,
and we'll do one here soon. One of the next ones actually will be probably on ceramic coatings. We'll get some guys in here maybe that are really, really good at doing ceramic coatings.
Some of our certified installers.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of them, and some of them have been doing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to Jamie, I would just say ceramic coating is for sure the top option. And if a person doesn't want to kind of spend that money, or they don't want to get into the preparation, they want something easier, that product you're holding right there, ceramic detailer. For a detail spray, I'm just telling you, I'm not sitting on this podcast trying to sell you a bunch of stuff. I'm just saying you need to try it. Even if your car's not coated, it doesn't matter.
It's unlike any detail spray you'll ever use, period. Hawaiian Shine's our staple. I mean, as far as carnauba based, it's awesome.
Oh, it's great.
But that ceramic detailer is unlike anything you've ever used as far as a sprayable.
That's something that probably should be pointed out, that we, because we have all these relationships with professional detailers, and that is such a big part of our business. When we test products, it's not just us testing them. That product has been around for us for about 8 or 9 months.
Way before we released it.
Yeah, we just released it not very long ago. But I take
last month or something.
Yeah. So I will take that out to detailers that we really respect and that will give us the real deal opinion. They're not going to sit there and say, "Oh man, every product you have is great." Right. And there's been products that we give to them, they're like, you know what? I think you should tweak it. I think you could do this. Polishes and compounds would be a good example. That one may be a little dusty, or that one's not quite exactly what I would like it to be. And I really value their opinion. So I'll say, all right, let's go back. Let's figure this thing out.
Figure it out.
That one, without a doubt, 100% of the people that tried it were like, dude.
The feedback was instant, and it was great.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I tried it on the old 63 T-Bird.
Wow. I'm telling you.
We
got a little HHR panel,
that
delivery
has
vehicle.
had the crap run out of it.
And never had any protection
on purpose. So it's like a little test deal. There's no wax. You spray water on it, the water just sits there. It does nothing. And I told you were in the office, and I was like, hey, man, I'm going to mess around with this HHR and this ceramic detailer. This is months ago.
This is like the very beginning of August.
Was it? Okay, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
And so I spray it down. I don't even wash it. I spray it down. The water's just sitting on it. It looks like crap.
It's never been washed. You'd have to run it into Lake Erie.
Easy.
That's Todd's ride,
drive
dude.
That thing during the week.
That's Todd's ride. So, but we do that on purpose. Seriously, I mean, we want to test stuff on this, and so I clay bar. I don't even wash it. I just rinse it down. I clay bar half the hood, and I just spray it down with ceramic detailer, and I wipe it off. Right, done deal.
Mm-hmm.
Spray it on there. I'm like, wow. I sent you a video.
Right.
I'm like, dude, look at this.
Because he put water. He hosed water on it afterwards, and it was beating like crazy. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's day one. I'm thinking that's day one. Okay, it's doing what it should. It's crazy beating. And just last week, it was pouring the rain. And you can ask some of the guys here at one of the dealerships I was at. I get out, and half of that hood, it's never had anything. It's been beat, just running through daily.
Believe me, it's never had it.
It's just running daily here. And I showed him, and he was like, "Oh my God, is that from?" I was like, "That's just from Ceramic
That's just
Detailer."
that product.
2 months ago. It's now October.
It's
And
crazy.
It's
It's crazy. So,
Yeah.
and it's super easy to use. I mean, the whole deal. So,
From what I am hearing right now, the price just went up.
yeah, see what I'm saying? So I gotta
In
deal
case you
with.
guys are interested.
I'm trying to make deals. So, ceramic coating, number one, I would argue that that's the second best option. It's way easier, that's for sure. From an application standpoint, you spraying it on, wiping it off.
and it gives it the same effect.
Yeah.
Just not as long, but the same ceramic coating
Yeah,
effect.
so I would go with that.
Yep. So last question is from Subsonic Ambition. How do you decide for the smells of each product?
We're lucky.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into that.
Yeah.
Smell's important
It's really important.
because if you smelled some of this stuff prior to us putting fragrance in it,
It would not be appealing.
Well, prior to
and,
us putting a color in it. I mean,
yeah.
it's all clear when we make it. I mean,
Right.
it could be like white.
kind of looks like a beer color.
Some
or
of
it's
'em.
clear, or it's milky. So we put fragrances, we put dyes in there, but you have to appeal to the senses. It's got to look good. Sometimes it's fluorescent. But to answer your question, we just try it. If it's a high pH or a low pH, maybe a smell does or doesn't work, and then we try one and go, oh, that smells
Yeah.
good.
And a lot of times we'll go back and forth. We just went
Sure.
back and forth on Total Interior.
Yep.
We had couple different
Fruity,
fragrances.
and then it was
And I was
fresh,
all about fruity, which is a good smell.
'cause you are fruity.
and it's a good smell, but it may not be for everybody.
Yeah.
So, and the smell we went with, hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a good one. So we go back and forth on them
Yep.
a lot on the smells.
A lot of them is kind of color coordinated. We have, Canon soap is a
Grape flavor.
purple
So it's great.
soap.
Yeah.
It smells like grape. I mean, so some of that plays a part, and some
This
of it's
one,
not.
This one smells like sweet tarts.
Lime is the actual fragrance.
it's
but
Body Shine. for
yeah,
people that
Body
don't see
Shine,
it.
yeah, spray
Yep.
detailer, and it's actually lime that is the fragrance, and it's funny because you'll mess with people and say, hey, what do you think that smells like? And they'll come up with sweet tart. It does smell like sweet tart.
But it's a really good question because it's like everybody that uses it, any product, but subconsciously before they even seen how it works, they smell that and they're like, "Oh man, that's awesome." As to where if it didn't smell
If
good,
it smelled like, yeah, you
it
just
would give you a bad impression right off
Sure.
the bat. You could be spraying water, and if it smells good, you're still like, "Oh, it smells good."
Right.
Yeah.
But now it has to work. But,
We have one product that does not smell good.
oh yeah,
Oh, it's wheel cleaner.
So we switch that up.
Jack's favorite.
That's-
I love it. I don't know why we sell it.
You keep saying that. I could tell you. I could
Except
give you a
that
lot
we
of
make a
reasons.
ton of money on it.
It's not that, no, actually, unfortunately, we don't. But
we sell a
we
bunch.
changing
sell a
that.
bunch of it.
We're changing that.
Yeah.
It's one of the, what's weird,
We
like
put cherry almond in it, and then it's
Yeah.
okay.
so when you think about this, this obviously, but to paint the picture for the customer, in an entire batch, batch sizes for these products are different. There'll be maybe
1,000 gallons, 1,200, 800.
600 if it's a small batch.
Yeah.
There's some stuff we'll do in 55 gallons, just depending. And another one we use cherry almond in is Wash and Wax, our car soap.
Yeah.
In that particular batch, it's about 600 gallons. Yeah, 650 gallons.
Yeah.
And we put, so this fragrance is so potent, okay? We put 2 quarts of cherry almond in an entire batch, and it is good. It's the right amount for that particular thing.
Right.
pH
wheel-
is 7.
The wheel cleaner is so potent that we have to put an entire gallon of cherry fragrance.
Why do we sell that stuff?
An entire gallon of cherry fragrance per 55-gallon drum.
Yeah.
just to try to cover it up.
Because it
And it
smells
still
like
doesn't.
a
It still
sewer.
doesn't.
And
Yeah,
if you
but
do it without, if you smell it before the fragrance,
you'd never use it.
That's why I got to deal with this over here.
Right.
Why do we sell it?
Well, I walk in when you're mixing, and I go, I'm going home.
when did
I
you
know.
come in?
About noon.
I was getting ready to say, I didn't. You been here? It's the first time I've
That's
seen
weird.
him in 6 months.
Podcast.
Seriously,
Nah.
that American Express bill that you keep talking about, it's going to
Yeah.
pay for your appearance fee today. I
Right.
appreciate you coming by.
Thanks a lot.
I'll invoice you.
Thank you. So, it's just little stuff. It's the stuff we learn, So, yeah, that wheel cleaner, the reason we sell it is because it's awesome.
Yeah.
And,
Do we make any money on it?
yeah, we do all right. It's
And
okay.
it really is the best. I mean, it's safe on all wheels.
That's the
it's
big
the
thing.
strongest wheel cleaner you can get before you move into acid.
Yeah, and you get guys that, all of us, your wheels are expensive.
Yeah.
And you don't want to put something on there that has a chance of risking
And we
it.
still sell the acid base for the commercial side of
Yeah.
our business. And you remember the old 1,000-gallon tank that I
Yeah.
Oh boy,
plastic.
back in the day.
Yep,
Yep.
Yeah.
I do. So that's cool. Yeah, that's this is. I mean, we'll wrap up.
This is really, you guys need to shoot us suggestions. Anything you would like for us to talk about, send it via Instagram, social media, Facebook, YouTube. We're going to have these broadcasts on a bunch of different platforms. We'd love to hear your feedback. It's
I hope you
fun.
enjoy it. I've had fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I hope that we're going to get better at it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll get better at it. It's just we're going to talk about things going on, not just in detailing world, but all aspects of the car business. And
We're gonna try to do it weekly.
Yeah.
If we can, we get going a lot of different directions. Again, we're a small company and we're all wearing a lot of hats.
Yes.
So,
But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Nope.
Really.
It's the best
Because
way.
It's the best way.
So we got SEMA. That's an important thing for us. Our first year. That's getting ready to come
Never
up.
been there.
I know. Yeah.
You guys, I've never even attended. Think about this. Jared, Dad, we got to go to SEMA. Dad, nope. These guys go to the last couple. Now we're doing SEMA.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
we'll talk about that at the next podcast potentially.
And we're going to try. I don't know the whole logistics of it, but we're going to try to do a podcast from
Mobile.
SEMA
Yeah.
if it's possible.
We'll figure it out. I'm sure there's equipment I need to get.
Yeah. Where's that American Express?
Wow.
Do you still have that car?
We
Can't
need
wait.
a mobile unit.
Oh, dude, I need a
Mobile studio.
whole deal.
We need a mobile
I'm not
studio.
moving these mics. These
Don't.
are
These are
staying here.
stationary.
We
I
need
need
to build
new
a
mics.
room at SEMA like
No,
that.
we're going to build it in a trailer and ship the trailer out there.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm in for that.
So cool. All right. Well, again, like Todd said, reach out to us in any way you can, whether it's a phone call, an email, on Instagram, Facebook, doesn't matter. We
Donations accepted.
If you got any questions, let us know. We will be glad to answer them and glad to help you out. We just want to give us a shot, earn your business. Ask us questions. We want to
got
answer
We appreciate you guys listening to this thing.
Thanks.
them. Later.
Cool. See ya.
Bye.